Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We've been away for a long time. I am Simon at Wandering DM. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the Fates in this game of Scion. We're gonna do a quick recap before we start the game, but before we get into that, here they are, our wonderful players. I'll let them introduce themselves, the character they're playing, and then we'll get everything started. So let's begin with the person to my right who is just probably took a bite of something. Hi, Lynn. How are you? Sorry for the timing.
No, water. Hi, I'm Lynn, playing Cirrus, and I'm playing Dee, daughter of Inari, and we both use she/her pronouns.
And then we are missing Morning this week, but she will be back next week. So we will go to the second line on the overlay. We'll begin with the person to the left, Nino. Hi, welcome.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Nino. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Eddie Kahele, the naive and innocent scion of the Monkey King.
I will not debate it yet. Up next, we have Hawkeye. Hi.
And if you believe that I've got a bridge in New York, I'd like to sell you a lease on. I'm Robert, otherwise known as Hawkeye or Kentucky Hawkeye. I am playing the role of Professor Finbar Oduda. He's a scion or son of Ogma of the Celtic group of gods and all that. I go by he, him, as well as my character.
And last but not least, we have Hannah.
Hey, I'm Hannah, Animation Art. I go she, her pronouns, but my character in this campaign, Kieran Kearney, uses he, him. He is the scion of Loki.
And where were we last time? We were, from what I remember anyway,
I believe we found this. Yes. We had found a certain somebody's little hideaway.
Mm-hmm.
There were like trees with blood on them. There was some rudimentary blacksmith stuff. We had gotten there because we were crawling through dirt tunnels.
In fact, just to,
Trying to avoid a hound.
yeah, just to catch everyone up to speed, that tunnel was found thanks to the investigation you made in Killian's, the, dead scion that you've been sort of trying to figure out what happened on behalf of his friend Peter. And yeah, he had a secret hideaway in a park in London, and basically you found this place. The tunnel had two ends, though. One of them led to the sanctuary of Killian. The other led to a pit with the bodies of multiple dead people, well, dead scion, I should say, covered in this, green moss and mushrooms. And then as the group, made their way to the other end, like you said, and the forge, there was a sort of an echo of Killian that spoke with you. Eddie took a piece of wood, I think it was like a 6-foot long branch, to make a weapon out of. And Killian basically, chatted with you for a bit, kind of explained what more or less happened, though, because he is very much just a snapshot of his divine self at one point in time. Couldn't necessarily do everything. And we ended the game last time with the 5 of you leaving the tunnel. And in the dark of night, we're about to be hit by an oncoming car, I believe.
Oh, that's. Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, it was where we left off and where we're going to begin. There is the great honking of a car horn as you stand there in the street. The car swerves, avoids you last second. But as it does so, the headlights end up shining sort of away from you. And the place that they light up, would be just a regular apartment building across the street from the park. But there, on the sidewalk, is that one-eyed dog again. What do you do?
What do we
With
do?
with the town there, I would recommend that we get out of here as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Well, fastest way to get out of here is to find a door.
Well, the closest door, ironically, would be right behind it, as it would be the door that leads into the apartment complex. Otherwise, to your right at the moment is the park. There are other houses and buildings, across the street everywhere. You could run there if you wanted. The thing is right now the dog hasn't moved a muscle. It's just sitting down, staring at you, kind of like what it did with Peter, Peter Bloom, the first time.
Are there any other places on the map that we were supposed to visit? Who has the map?
You have the map, right?
Did I have the map? He starts patting around his jacket.
The world map that Killian had the thumbtacks in?
Yes, the one that we had taken with us to jump to this location.
There are multiple other places. Like, you can see them. It's dark. So you can't see all of them. But there are a few. You remember there was one in Nepal. There were a few along the... I don't want to mess up.
What about the London map that has like, here's where I get food, here's where I, are there any that one?
I mean, as far as locations go, yes, there are a few others. If you look at the London notes, there is a there was, sorry, a dot on the map in Stratford. The dot pointed to, well, what you would know, or maybe you're not all familiar, but Finbar would certainly identify the place as the London Stadium. The problem is the note said, avoid this place.
Well, I feel like that's a place that we should go.
Well, there's got to be some reason he was avoiding it.
Yeah, now that we have an idea of where what are we going to that? Can't outrun it necessarily.
So, how about you guys go find a door? Let me see if I can draw it away.
Can you all make me a we'll go with cunning and empathy.
Ooh, nice.
So that would be Kieran and Finbar. You'll understand the full significance. D, you know that there's something iffy about the dog.
He's just scared of this dog now. Now that like
You would notice, Kieran and Finbar, that as the four of you are talking, you're still standing more or less in the middle of the street, with people, swerving left and right to avoid you. But as you're talking, and just maybe like moving just the upper part of your body to turn to look at one of your own, the dog moves like just a bit as if to mimic your movement. You get the idea that the moment you make a step, the dog will also, step forward. It might not mimic perfectly, so it's not like if you take 2 steps, it's only going to take 2 steps, but you get the idea that, the moment one of you starts running, the dog will also start running. So long as you stand there, it also stands there.
He's acting like the foxhounds I grew up with as a kid. He's coiled, ready to spring at his prey as soon as it makes a move.
Okay, well,
that's
here. Someone take this from me then. He's just going to toss the staff in their general direction.
The face of the dog follows, well, the eye, follows the staff as you toss it to someone.
How big is the staff?
It's about 6 feet long, maybe longer.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's a very long branch.
I'd say either you or D take it, because I've got the shillelagh to defend myself with.
Eddie is just going to take off the torque and start dangling it. You looking for this? Good for this?
It stares at it. Like, it doesn't wag its tail or like have its tongue out like an actual dog would. It's not but you can still get the idea that it is excited.
I've got an idea. I don't know if it'll work or not. And I reach in my pocket and pull out an old piece of paper that's not worth anything, and I crumple it up into a ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking if I throw this, maybe he goes after that, and then we can all break for it at once. Especially if it's got my scent on it from my hands here.
It's a piece of paper?
Just a piece of paper, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You crumble it into a ball, you just like toss it to the side. It looks at it for a second, but immediately stares back at the torque.
Oh, there goes that idea.
Can I try
It's
something? I want to use my key and turn it into a copy of the torque. See if that works.
Good idea.
Make a I'll go with because it's not really social, so let's do cunning and subterfuge for that.
Okay. Oh, come on.
oh no!
Well,
oh
I
no!
mean, look on the bright side. You get a you get
10
a point
dice
of
to
momentum.
roll.
We get a point of momentum.
We're on. Oh no!
So you do it, and just like with the paper, the dog looks at it very quickly. but then turns its gaze back to the real Torque.
It's fine. It's fine. I got this. I got
Okay.
this. Go make a door back home. Nearest door. Let me know which one it is. And,
Okay.
I will break off and let it chase me while you guys head to the door. Just keep it open long enough for me to get back to it.
Will do.
Okay.
And then
Just
Eddie takes out his phone and he puts Eye of the Tiger on while he slowly reaches down to pump his Reeboks.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to grab the Torque and he's just going to sprint straight at the dog and then go flying past it.
All right. Can you? What is your initiative?
Where do I?
In it would be. Oh, it's an two stats together. Give me a sec. I'll let you know which one it is. Initiative. Initiative is your best combat-related skill plus cunning. And roll that amount of dice. And I'll roll his, because I just want to see...
Oh my god! What the hell? Shit.
That's fine.
The
We'll let it
gods
go.
are fathers
My
are not
god!
with
Ugh. Oh.
Oh, that's not good.
So what'll happen is, as you take off to run toward the door, the dog barely has enough time to move its head and snap at you. Probably like snap at your ankle. So what may happen? So what I'm going to roll is he's going to roll an attack roll against your defense. If I succeed, you won't take any damage. It'll just bite down on your pants, but you will trip and fall prone. And then if he has enough successes, he might disarm you of the Torque.
Oh, good. Good. Thanks.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but that will be the complication. What is your defense? Your defense would be your stamina.
It's 4.
Okay, so I need 4 successes to just be able to trip you. Oh, whoa.
Whoa!
Hey. Oh, okay. Well, you got a lot. You got a
Simon
lot
has
of
just
dice.
revealed that this is the final boss
So
for.
with-
So many times.
I rolled by mistake. I rolled 71 d10s. Y'all didn't see that, but
I thought we were fighting the Hound of Baelor, not Cerebrus.
yeah.
Oh.
So it snap at you, will bite down on the bottom, the calf section of your pants, will tear away a piece of it, but nothing else happens. You still manage to fly right past it, and of course, it will turn around and go for you. So for this combat, I think we're just gonna do, Eddie, dog, rest of the group. We're gonna go in that order, and rest of the group, you can take your actions the way you want. I'll let you know right away. For now, the dog's attention is solely on Eddie. So we did Eddie, you ran past. By the end of your turn, are you using any of your powers to go extremely fast? Or
He's
you're
using his cloud walking shoes to move.
so I think that means you can basically jump to it's the step sideways thing, right? Where was it? It's an immortal powers. Immortal liminal. Yeah, you cross the distance instantly. So you where do you want to go? Because anywhere you can see, you can reach.
Yeah. He's only jumping or moving as forward as he can to be just out of reach of the dog, but to still entice it to chase after him.
Okay. Do you want to appear inside the apartment complex? Because the door is like just this like big glass door, so you see inside. So you could go into the lobby if you wanted, or would you rather stay outside?
He's staying outside. He's drawing the dog away so that the others can open a door back home, and then he will, once they're all clear, he will make his way for that door.
Okay. So you're maybe like 15 feet behind the dog when you realize that it tore part of your pants, and you just look over your shoulder and it still has like a piece of it hanging out of its mouth. The rest of the group, D. Finbar, Kieran, you just saw this close call on the part of the dog, but Eddie is still safe. You barely have time to blink that he's, by the door of the lobby for that apartment. The dog has completely turned around, ignores the three of you. What do you do?
Try and find one of these doors. Just like, so what do we have? We have the apartments, right?
Yeah, so across from where you are, you have... there was the ice cream store nearby, but that's that's like beyond the park, so that might be a little too far.
We don't.
The side on which you are at the moment is mainly just like townhouse. Well, I say apartment buildings, but they're not really they're not very tall apartment buildings. Like we could say they're triplexes at best. Or not a triplex, but a sexplex. There are 6 apartments. 2 in the basement, 2 on the first floor, 2 on the second floor.
Yeah. So first door is the whole complex, and then everything else has a Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, there's the one that Eddie went straight to, but you probably don't want to go there.
Don't want to go towards the dog.
We'll go to the other one.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah, that's it. You have others.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go to the nearest one.
Yeah, Dee's gonna go toward the nearest one, and she's gonna just run and slam it, and just like not quiet talking like she does to like the object, and just says, "Please, please, please, we just need to use this door to get out. We won't go in any further. We just need you to open, please."
As you reach the door, and put your hand on the like pull bar, can you? I mean, no, it would have hurt you. So you put your hand on it, you pull, and like you feel the tension because it's still locked, and then you hear the buzzer be like, as if someone had buzzed you in, and the door swings open.
All right, we'll open up, and then she'll like just look and answer. It's like, "Eddie, come on, let's go."
Do
you just...
Oh, sorry.
you just hear Eddie just do that that scream that Goofy does when he gets into an accident. And he's as he's running, he's high stepping like Deion Sanders, trying to keep from getting bitten. And he's doing this like all around like the circle, so he's a very big spectacle right now.
I'll get back to Eddie in a moment for that. But can you roll? I need you to roll something. Can you roll presence and subterfuge? And but I'll get back to you. Lynn, do you have the fate point, the legend point to imbue the door with?
I do. I have one legend point left, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So temporarily, until you're all, until you decide to shut the door, you do not have that point of legend.
Okay.
Finbar and Kieran.
Following right behind Lynn.
Does Eddie seem like he's in immediate danger from this dog? Like, does he seem like he can get away to get to the door?
Yes. He's traipsing around the dog, and it has a hard time following him.
Okay.
It's trying to, and I mean, maybe through sheer luck. By that I mean, if I actually roll high enough, it might be able to get in the way of Eddie, but it would be, misfortune more than anything.
Okay. Can I hold my action until I can see if Eddie is hindered by the dog?
Okay. So you remain in the middle of the street?
I'm going to head towards the door, but I'm not going to go in through the door until I'm sure Eddie can join us.
Okay. So Eddie, as you're, jumping around and having a good time, you do not notice this, you'll notice it last minute, unfortunately. Your eyes go up to the sky, just, as you're jumping, for, a split second, the red eye in the sky is looking directly at. And you can feel that it's staring you down. And it is trying, at least that's the feeling you get, an alien feeling in your brain that just wants you to stop goofing around. Put the fork down. Do you have any powers or abilities that would allow you to resist like mental commands?
Ooh.
No.
Okay. Then we're gonna need a roll. I just need to check the difficulty here. Because he is not at full power.
Oh, I have one skill. That's called Perfect Poise. Cannot be shaken by panic or fear. Unless it's a
no, I would
from
say,
another super source, yeah.
Which do you remember if you got that as a mortal or after you got your visitation?
It was after my visitation.
After? Perfect poise, you said.
Yeah, it's under my leader calling.
Awesome. Beyond memory. Flatlander. Obtrusive. Perfect poise. Okay, there it is. In which case you gain 2 enhancement to resist it. Okay, cool. So it is going to be a clash of wills, like I thought.
Okay.
But if you succeed, or if you roll at least 1 success, I should say, you automatically gain like this +2. 3 successes.
Okay.
And it is...
By the way, I feel like we should have 7 momentum right now because I failed that I failed 2 rolls now.
The initiative roll is not a failure, though.
It's not failure. Okay.
No, because it just establishes your order in the initiative. Basically, you rolled a 0 for your initiative.
Okay.
And I rolled a 3. And the present subterfuge, yes, would give you 1 point of momentum, though. Let's just adjust that. There we go. So you're at 6 at the moment. And I believe, yep, that's what I thought. 10. Not 71. 10. And I only have 2 successes.
All right. Come on.
All right. So what am I rolling here for this Clash of Wills?
Clash of Wills would be your... in this case, it's your mental resilience, so it would be resolve. And it is resolved with... Oh, sorry, it's the skill. The knack skill, and then your legend dots. So your... what's the skill that goes with... You said leader?
Yep.
I think in this case, integrity would be your skill for it.
That is the
Oh my
absolute
God.
worst. Oh my God.
Shit. Oh no. This is
Okay.
This has come up before. I think this is a bad time for.
Wait. I may have made a slight mistake. Nope. Yeah, it depends. So, perfect poise depends solely on, the situation. Which means that it's either, for the most part, integrity, but it could be another. But in this case, it pretty much would be. You know what? No, I'll say either integrity or leadership. Because
Okay.
Oh geez, that's.
I'll use leadership instead. So resolve and leadership.
yeah, I figured the leader in battle would not show fear, so we could argue a case for that.
Okay. Finally,
That's a better.
success.
So 2 successes plus your 2 enhancement. That's 4. So even though you feel for a brief moment that it would be a very good idea to just put it on the ground and let the dog have it, I mean, then everyone would be safe. But you quickly realize that this voice, even though it has your voice, is not yours, and you can just completely ignore it. It seems to have angered the eye, but aside from staring intently at you, it doesn't do anything. And so Kieran, I don't know if you want to do something, but Eddie will manage to get to the door in time. The dog will have 1 action. And yes, the dog will have 1 action. which is to disappear.
All right,
It just dematerializes.
through the door.
So, D, you're holding the door open.
Mm-hmm.
Who goes first?
I'll go in first, shillelagh in hand, not knowing what we're going to be walking into.
Well, D, you're the one who spent the legend. Where is the door leading to?
Oh, we're
Oh, back home, of course.
back home, yeah.
Sorry, I messed up the two. So yeah, you can only go back home. So Finbar, you would still
Okay.
see, beyond the door instead of the lobby, like the darkened lobby of this apartment complex. It's directly, and in this case, it would be twilight, almost night. Let's say early evening, back in the States.
Okay.
So you would see the orange sky over the cottage.
Okay.
You go in first. Who goes in second? And who goes in? Actually, I don't need second. I only need last.
I guess D's the last one because I think she's in position to just close the door once the second to last person goes through. So
All right.
I think get attacked by this dog.
Kieran, Eddie, go in. And my dog action was to use its shadow step thing.
Yeah.
So I'm
Cool.
gonna lower my tension by 1.
Oh yeah. Good.
And as you're basically the last person goes in. D, you flip around to go inside and close the door. But as you do so through the glass, you see this dog. And it launches at you. It's not trying to drain your memories or anything.
Yeah.
The glass pane will give you a bit of an advantage. If only because, you're behind it. Which means that your defense, I believe, will go up a little. Oh no, it's an injury condition. Okay, so basically, if I deal just 1 damage to you, the damage actually is done to the door.
Okay.
Anything higher than that, and I mean, I need to roll relatively high to do more than 1 in 1 attack.
I mean,
So you might be okay. What is your defense, D?
what is the defense? What is the?
The defense is always your if it's a physical attack, it's your stamina.
Okay. 3.
Oh boy, okay.
That doesn't sound like a
Is
good.
that a good one?
Is that a good or a bad?
For me, I have. Oh god.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Okay. Statistically speaking, I should have failed.
Yeah. No. Oh. Okay.
That's 4 successes, so that's more than 3.
Yeah.
However, I do not believe it is enough to do more damage. Because do you have any armor?
Absolutely not. No. None. Nope.
So, at 3, it broke through the door. I have one more. Look, so you reappear in the cottage, but you are, in reaction to the surprise charge. Like you step back, tripped over yourself, and all it does is that when you appear at the cottage, you basically fall down. But you're safe. The dog is nowhere to be found.
Okay.
I would have needed how many more successes for fun? Oh no, wait, that's a surprise attack.
Oh crap.
My bad. Let me just
Get more dice. Get more dice.
I do not get more dice. What do I get? Oh, no, it's fine. It just meant that it has an extra turn, but that's what it did anyway. And with the
Ah.
extra success, it just shoved you back into the door. You teleported.
Okay.
It's more if he had done damage, then I would have had an extra turn to
Mhm.
drain your memories.
Cool. Glad that.
But you all reappear. Safety of home.
I'll just say that maybe that the Force D just got like launched like a few extra feet.
Hmm.
No, I gotta say, I'm really tired of dogs and wolves. Can we fight something else for a change? Because this is not fun anymore.
I didn't think it was that fun in the first place, but this is worse now.
We could punch the wolves. This dog, though, this dog is a pain in the ass. Freaking Cujo.
Well,
The feeling is until we take care of this, what's causing that eye in the first place, we're not going to get rid of that town so easily.
Well, I still have no idea how we're supposed to take it out.
well, I didn't know it could do that.
Well, we do now. We'll be ready for it. Now, where do we find this wheel of time that our echo of a friend was telling us about?
Well, I've got one thing I can try. We still got the globe, right?
Yeah, we before we hopped to the new place, we opened the door and carried it through there
Yeah.
to the cottage. Now
Okay.
it's sitting on the back porch, much to everybody's odd reaction.
I'd like to take the handkerchief that I used to collect Killian's blood
Mhm.
from the trees, and I'd like to wet it and then try to squeeze it out on the globe.
The blood drop drops on the globe, and it is activated. Oh, I just need to remember. It does so automatically. And it's within 200 square miles. Oh boy. Let me check, because I need to find the location of our little hideaway. Wait, where was our hideaway?
It's all the way down at the bottom of the map.
The cabin. Yes. Yes, Simon, thank you for not putting the real world location. Oh no, I don't need a real. Oh, that's gonna be fun. There is one right where you stand.
One.
An Axis Mundi, like a portal. Basically, like what you found when you found where you found the tunnel. But that, I believe, if I think Chappa had told you that, but it was at the very beginning of the campaign. But essentially, you're not on Earth.
Yeah.
And since you can teleport from here to wherever you want, that's your Axis Mundi. So the globe shows you a door, all the doors within 200 square miles. But there's only, the entire area where you are is one giant door. Basically, it's like if a compass's needle was just spinning around because you're standing directly on the North Pole.
Sitting on true magnetic north.
Yeah.
So this thing is only useful for finding doors then, I guess. Not anything else. Axes or whatever you call them. It was worth a try.
I mean, it still could be useful.
Are there any other locations lighting up on the globe?
So strangely enough, the place where you are, is it's not in the world. It's sort of located on the eastern seaboard of the United States, but so that's where the those little lines on the like both rims of the globe, like they line up to where the physical location of where you need to bring people for it to work. I'm trying to find again. That was the beep. Oh man, that's where he went. Toronto. Oh, great. I did a mistake. I thought I would remember it. It was 2 hours west of Niantic, right? Like by car?
So,
Well, okay. So let's say just, because apparently I wrote X, capital X in my notes, thinking that I would always remember where it is. But I think if we look at a map, so I believe it would be around like between I-87 and I-91, in either New York, Massachusetts, wherever, in the middle of nowhere, basically. But that's where the drop of blood, not the drop of blood, but the two, like little marks.
Latitude and longitude line up to.
Words hard.
So it looks like that is our next destination.
It's where you are.
Oh, that's where we are. Okay.
Basically, since you found yourselves, you've used a compass while you're standing on the true magnetic north. So of course it points to where you are because you're standing on it.
mm-hmm.
Basically, you would need to use the globe anywhere
Somewhere
but
else.
here. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, it was a good effort.
Well, at least we know the blood activates.
Yeah, but where are we going to find more blood? The man's all bones.
Doesn't our blood work?
We tried mine,
that.
remember?
Oh yeah.
We tried
It
mine.
needs, yeah, it needs to be the blood of someone of the same pantheon as him.
Yeah. Until we find another one of his kind.
Okay, 2 seconds, everyone.
Oh.
My cat got its claws stuck in my fan thing, like the grill in front of the fan.
Oh no.
Ooh.
He was freaking out and trying to pull it apart.
Oh,
It's okay. It's done. You're an idiot, kitty. But yes. However, I will give you that. You know, when the blood pools on like the earth and sort of leaks into the cracks and the relief of like all the mountains that were like carved out and all that, you could probably extract it again. But what I will say is, if you do like wipe it with the cloth, the next time you use it will be the last time you can use it with that blood, and you will need to spend a point of momentum
okay.
to make it work.
Better enough.
So it's basically going to be, you know, fate that it works again.
Right. I'll collect up what blood I can and put it back in the Ziploc baggie.
So I'm guessing we'll just have to cart this back to some place in London and use it there.
It could be anywhere on Earth. Because its range is 200 square miles. So if you, let's say you use it in, I don't know, Cairo, then you would get, it would pinpoint all the Axis Mundi within 200
In a
square
200
miles of
200 mile radius.
200 miles every direction, I should say, of
Yeah.
Cairo.
Yeah, we shouldn't go back to London because we already know there's an Axis there. We already depleted it, so we should go elsewhere and try it, see if we can find something else.
Well, where else would we do it? Ireland?
One of the places that he marked on his pin map.
Yeah, let's get that map out and study it a little bit further.
You know that we don't have
So
a
Eddie's gonna
dog breathing
pull
down
out
our
the
neck.
map, and he's going to pin it to the wall outside of the house, just so that they can look at it.
You take a step back and you marvel at the map, and now that you've used the globe, you understand how it works. Looking at the map again, you realize that the places he marked were the places he you're fairly certain those are the places where there are no Axis Mundis. Like the places he visited and unfortunately didn't find anything, so he came back. So you would need to go where he did not go, which covers still like 75% of the globe. But
I don't suppose we can get a map of Earth's ley lines, could we?
this is something that Neiman
Niman
could
get, yes.
could get, yeah. Like she probably has one saved
I
on
would,
her.
I would imagine we've got one stored away somewhere.
I was thinking
Send-
maybe if we overlay the ley lines, we can see whether or not the Axis Mundi coordinate with them.
I'll quickly text Naman to ask her where the file is of ley line maps and all that so I can access it.
She will send you the map, and you can like either look at it on your phone or
Well,
find a way.
I would
to print
I would
it out.
assume in my room in the cabin there, I have it set up probably as a mini office, so I probably made sure that there's some sort of printing apparatus there. So
I mean, the moment you think you remember that there's a printer, there is a printer. Because remember, that's how the house works.
exactly.
And so you can print it out.
So I'll print it out to match the scale that the other map is that we have.
Okay. That will give you a +1 enhancement to your roll. We'll treat this as a sort of like a investigation scene, if you will. So I will need the help of everyone because this is going to be a group check. And I need... that's the hero. No, I need this one. Procedural. That's what I needed. All right. I would like to know, how is everyone helping out with this? So we know we have, like, as an item, we have the map. But do your characters have, like, special knowledge of the occult or something that could probably come in handy in such a
I have
case?
occult skills.
I have a couple of occult dots.
I've got 3 in occult, and I have that marked.
As a... Well, yeah, it's one of your tag skills.
One of my tagged skills.
But what I need to know is... Like, the skill is irrelevant in the sense that we know this is what you're going to roll. How you do it. It is what will alter. So normally, you know, you could have... It's not going to work in this case, but, you know, like, oh, I could hack into a government database of secret occult stuff. There's none of that in this world, but you kind of get the idea. So it could be either like research, it could be trying to recall things that you know, or it could just be deduction and logic.
I have my book notes that I always carry around with me, and in there I'll have all of the reference I have to all the different occult sightings and possible Scion sightings as well, and how that interlinks with different what normal mortals would refer to as paranormal activity going on across the globe, and with the research that Naman and I use that knowledge to interpret how any of the locations that we've investigated up till now connect up with what's on the map here.
Okay. So I'll gather what your roles are, or what you want to do, how you want to help, and we'll do the skill check after break. So you're going to look through your notebook. What about the other 4? Are you helping, and if so, how?
Oh, I think D is going to just get out a bunch of devices and try and scour places she knows, like on the internet, see if there's anything useful to help. She has she's just going to put them in front of her, like a couple. She might borrow like a few spare devices that people have, and just because she has a knack where she can she can use she has the wireless interface thing, which means that she just has to she doesn't have to touch anything, so she's gonna just sit in front of them for a while.
Which knack was that, or which thing does it fall under?
Creator. I could post that. I have the little blurb on my sheet.
Yeah, I have it. Ooh, it's in the same field as you. Wow. Equal to your knack skills. Okay, so you can have up to in this case we're gonna go with academics because you're researching.
Yeah.
Or technology. Choose either.
Technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can have as many of these active at once that will do all the research for you as you have dots in technology.
Yeah. So it's 3. So she'll be doing her thing, and she'll have 3 devices doing just kind of auto doing the thing without her necessarily having to pay super attention to it.
Mhm.
So they're just kind of like sitting in front of her, like it's gonna look like she's a little lazy, like she's just like laying down on the couch with like the other two devices like on the coffee table.
But they're actively like the
They're
pages,
actively,
you
yeah,
can
stuff's
see them,
happening.
like yeah.
If you were to
Thousands
walk
of
in, it's
times.
like you're being lazy. It's like, what are you doing?
Does she have giant headphones on too?
Of course, yeah.
Thumping lo-fi.
Just like laying there. She looks like she's like, I'm gonna go research. I'm gonna browse here. I'm just gonna like sit on the couch.
And they either got fox or cat ears on them.
Mhm.
Oh, I
Totally.
figure there's definitely fox ears on there.
God, yep, they're definitely fox ears because I have them right here. Actually, you know what? They look like this. They have mine. Mine looks like this.
Oh,
Okay, what about Kieran and Eddie?
Eddie absolutely brings nothing to the table in this particular purview. So he's actually just going to find Choppa, and he's going to start working on crafting his weapon, the 3-sectional staff.
Oh yeah. Then what we're gonna do for that, because this is the beginning of your crafting endeavor. We'll do that after the break, because I'll just read up on it very quickly. And Kieran.
Aaron has absolutely no knacks that will help with any academic endeavor, but he's good at taking direction. He's not good at taking direction, but he can pretend. If somebody needs him to do something, like pin the ley lines up on the existing map, I don't know. He's good with tape.
All right,
I'll
so
give you
Kieran-
the chalk string to help make the marks on the.
There we
on
go.
the
I'm
map.
good. I'm good at that.
So I'll put Kieran as the intern. Okay.
All right.
And
You're Naman Mark II.
So we're gonna go to break very quickly because I need to share some stuff with the players as how to liminal scenes, not liminal, but procedural scenes work, so that I don't have to keep and hawing when we come back from break. So stick around. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Just grab a drink, grab a snack. Thank you everyone for being here this afternoon. We'll be right back. We're back. Whoa. No, we're not. What's going on?
You took out mornings.
That was weird. Oh, my phone. Of course. Okay.
Oh.
Bye morning.
Oh.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it live. Production value. What is this? I don't know her. There we go. Yeah, no, that's my overlay. And now Lynn is centered again. Yay. Alright, so we're back at the cottage. We have this montage scene of of everyone, helping out. Basically, the group or the action will take place like on the porch with the map pinned to the outside wall. The ley line map probably pinned like right next to it or held in Finbar's hand. We would see Kieran walking around with beverages or sometimes like holding tools and stuff and, ferrying messages from Dee, who's inside on the couch, just being like hacker woman. And in the back of the cabin, there would be Chappa and Eddie, but we're gonna get back to them after. So this is a particularly tricky mystery. The difficulty for that check is going to be 3. So, which means that you need 4 successes to be able to get anything out of it. That said, I highly encourage you to use momentum for stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, during break, I sent the group the sort of the breakdown of a procedural. We checked before break, right? Lynn, you are using your knack with all of the computers, so this is going to be a intellect plus technology check.
All right.
Finbar, you're researching in your notebooks all the notes that you took.
Plus using my Palace of Memory. I remembered about that.
Being
able to remember everything.
Palace of Memory, that's a knack from the Sage, I believe.
Yeah.
Palace of Memory.
It's a calling. It's not an act. It's a calling. I think it's a calling.
Oh, it's from one of your okay, so it's not the knack, it's directly the supernatural power that you have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that would be under your purviews. Which calling is it?
It's under leadership, I believe. Hang on, let me pull it up here real quick. Palace of Memory. Let's see. It's under Sage. When you recall past events you've experienced or studied, able to recall details flawlessly. Never missing on any clues or dropping the ball on details you might remember. Allows you to bypass the need for a roll to remember salient details or facts and declare a narrative advantage.
Okay, so what your Palace of Memory will do is if anyone misses out on something, you will automatically have it. Which means that, let's say one of the 3 of you, 2 of you actually rolls, not high enough. Finbar, you automatically succeed on 1.
Okay.
So that means you cannot completely, utterly fail at this.
Yeah.
And as for your notes, I will go with intellect and academics.
Okay.
I also have something from the Blessed Rice bag that is on a similar thing. Let me put it in the chat. Let me see. If that can help us at all as well.
Yes, we're not going with milestones right now because like it's a one scene thing. So what
Yeah.
I'll do is for you, Dee,
Mhm.
it's a difficulty 2 and not a
Okay.
difficulty 3.
Sweet, because the rice bag gives me gives D basically perfect memory as well. So
Yeah.
it's very
So
helpful.
any tiny details that you may have missed because of a failed check while you were investigating Killian's house, or with telephone, the gnome,
Mhm.
like those might come up in the sense of that. And remember, whoever succeeds. So if both of you do succeed, or by
Mhm.
succeed I mean at least have one success, Kieran is automatically adding an extra success on top of that,
All right.
simply by helping.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
give me those rolls.
All right, let's do this. Come on, thing. Come on. Yay.
So that's 1. Is there any momentum that you want? Because your pool of momentum.
Oh
is
yeah, that's right.
6.
Yeah.
Finbar, you want to spend some
Yeah, let's spend some momentum here.
momentum.
How much?
Do we want to do 2 or 3?
Let's do 3. Sure, why not?
D10, right?
Yeah, 3d10s.
No.
No, if you're kidding.
No.
But like I said,
Mhm.
Finbar, because of your sage ability, your palace of memory, you will get a clue regardless of what it is.
Okay.
That's automatic. And Lynn, you have a 4 because of Kieran. Was there any momentum you wanted to also spend on this?
Oh, we have 3.
Because right now, with a 4, that means you get to have 2 of those things I put in chat.
Hmm. Should we put an extra 1 in there just to see if we can get an extra success out of it?
May as well.
All right, let's do it. Come on, extra D10. Let's see. Come on. 10. Yay.
Boom.
Good. So you have 5 successes. So 3 of those things. So you can either ask for extra
Oh.
clues, interpretations, and by the way, when I say you, it's the group.
Okay,
because
yeah,
it's a
group.
group
Yeah.
effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So clues, interpretations, asking me a question that I have to answer the truth, or player inspiration, which is basically you making up something. And worst
Alright,
case scenario, like we'll tweak it. Yeah. So asking for clues basically is asking me about things you might have missed on, or things that do not relate to the checks that you've used. So for example, D looked through like computers and such, but maybe there is a clue that she missed out that is in a book that was tangentially related. Like it came up during your web search, but you just like brushed it aside because it didn't seem like it was important. But it was in fact a clue. So that is something that, I could say like, oh, well, you remember that book? You decide to look into it a bit more, spend a few hours, like leafing through it, and find XYZ. An interpretation is basically you tell me what you think, and I will correct the trajectory of so you give me your interpretation of how, like, what's happening, and I'll let you know, hot or cold type of thing. Otherwise, the Q&A is you just downright ask me a question, or you make up something on the spot. So you get 3 of those. I can let the 3 of you, Finbar, D, and Kieran, if you want to like message and chat, think about it. I'll go to Eddie, and then I will be back.
Okay.
Mr. Kaheli.
Sorry, one quick question. Is we sent Morning and Who else did we send? We sent out someone.
To go grab your friend
Yes.
at the airport.
Yeah, we sent Winnie and Morning to go pick up Yoshi from Niantic.
Yeah. They will be back when it's narratively appropriate.
Okay.
Basically, they'll be back when when Renee's back next week. Basically,
Okay.
because there's a scene that I want to have with Yoshi, Winnie, and her as they're driving back to the portal to the cottage.
Okay.
So they are for the moment unavailable. JD is somewhere in the cabin, probably being relatively lazy. But if you want him to do something,
No,
he
it's
can.
fine. I was just curious as to whether or not they were back yet.
No, that's it. So it's pretty much just you and Choppa that seem to know how to create stuff.
Okay.
So the way crafting works is that you basically get to choose like how powerful you want your thing to be, and then that will determine the work you have to put into. And the work is not just, oh, make a skill check. It might involve finding specific things like ingredients or making certain sacrifices in the sense of sometimes it's a like a personal possession that you hold dear that will need to go into the making of blah blah blah. So they're counted in milestones. Milestones are rare materials, hard labor, discovering or learning the like a secret recipe. Basically, you know, if you try to you want to make the a sword similar to Mesamune, you would have to find what's his name. What's the name of the guy who forged that sword? The Japanese smith. Anyway, you would have to find him, and then you know, try to learn the recipe or learn how to work it. Oh no, Masamune is the name of the guy that the swords just bear his name. So you would have to find this specific smith, blah, 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 get the recipe. So that's another type of milestones. And the last type of milestone is either seek divine guidance, like phone your parents, or the like sacrifice ritual, what have you. That could be like a scene, that could be an object, that could be whatever. As a hero who's not a demigod, of course the item that you create cannot go over cannot equate most of the stuff that your parents gave you. So this is, I think we talked about it between the games, but basically it's an item that will level up with you.
Right.
So what you can do is the equivalent of a 1-dot relic. So your staff can do one like divine thing, if you will. Flavor-wise, what did you have in mind for that weapon? What did you see Eddie do with that 3-section staff?
So Eddie's probably standing there with Chopper looking at this big branch, trying to wonder what he wants to do with it. sort of just thinking aloud. You know, Monkey King had a legendary staff where he could grow its size or shrink it down to whatever he wants, and it weighed like 20,000 pounds, made of black iron, and may have been sentient. Seems a little excessive if you ask me. It also could duplicate itself. Thinking I just want a 3-sectional staff, which makes it very difficult to use. I mean, you have to be really good to know how to use this. Because unlike a staff, it actually has extra range.
Chopper just looks at you when you say that and goes, "So, you want a weapon that will scream, 'Look at me, I'm hot'?"
Well, no, because that's what I do. I want the attention on me, not the staff. But, obviously it's a little difficult to carry around a 3-sectional staff, so finding some way to be able to conceal it, or at least compact it some, would definitely be useful. But I think the more important thing is that I don't really want it to break. Because, I'm kind of super strong. If I whip it too hard, I might break the staff more than the person that I'm hitting it with it. But, maybe it should be in staff form and then collapses into 2 pieces, and then on command it becomes a 3-sectional staff.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could have it that it is just one section that like pops the 2 other out or something. It could be like the size of a, and he looks at the branch and to chop a, if we just go with the middle section, that would be about 2 feet long. Like, do you want it smaller than that?
Well, I need to conceal it. So I kind of want it to just shrink. I mean, my dad's staff could shrink to the size of a toothpick, and then he just tucks it in behind his ear.
I mean, I do enjoy working with wood. And
We're also going to need metal, right? To
metal rings. And he taps
chains.
2 places, yeah.
Yeah, so he just, actually Eddie's just going to hold his hand out up behind him and just be like, "Oh, I'm just reaching for actual 3-sectional staff," and he'll pull that out as an example.
Yeah. I keep forgetting we had that. Well then, let me think. We can definitely do something here. Before I help out, because I can offer counsel, that's sure. Anything I put my touch on will not be 100% Shen.
Yeah, no, I think this is something I have to do.
Okay.
I mean, I've got this, and he holds up the torque to help me out, but...
Okay. That can help? What is that?
Some torque that some blacksmith god gave to his Scion.
Oh. Okay. And it just works?
I think so.
Okay. Well, why don't you put it on first?
All right. So, yeah, Eddie will put it on.
The moment you put it on, you suddenly become aware of all the little flaws that your design had. Basically, mechanically speaking, any flaw that you would, because you can decide to have to like put flaws into your work so that you know to balance out the power, right, and how quickly you can create it. But in your case, because of the torque, all of these flaws are reduced by 1. So you can basically stack on free flaws that don't exist, is what it
Okay.
means. Of course, you do not have any of the boons that come with it, because those would need, XP to learn them. So, for example, Celestial Artifice, if you ever unlock it, means that you could craft your staff as a demigod, even though you're not. So it allows you to like start it at a higher level.
How much XP would that cost?
Is a boon.
Because I'm sitting at 25 XP spare, so.
Yeah, I think you can. Oh Jesus Christ! I thought there was someone looking at me through the window. It's Cat coming home. Ooh, I had a tiny heart attack, y'all. Tiny heart attack. Give me. Scared the shit out of me. I thought there was like a stalker staring at me. At you. Okay. Your boon. Normally, the boon is something that you only earn as you level up. But what I will say, because this is a this comes from another item. For like 10 XP, I'll let you buy a boon.
Okay.
You know, because you essentially unlock the power of this item, and that will go for anyone, by the way, whoever finds like a magic, a relic that would give you access to the power of a different god. 10 XP, we're gonna go with that, and you can use it as if it was your own. However, you can only do so while you have the torque on. The
Okay.
power disappears if you are not actively wearing it. So this boon, Forge Boon, will allow you to create instead, your 3-section staff could be a relic worth up to 3 points. So mundane things, and by mundane I mean unbreakable. That doesn't count as like one of the 3 things. The fact that it can take any other shape, for example, would be a point. If it can, I don't know, give you access to some sort of power, that would be another point, etc., etc. So we would just tack on these things up to a maximum of 3. Where the hell are my relics? There we go, relics. So for example, the look is not that important. Does it give you access to a purview? That would be strange in your case, because the only purviews you could have the staff, like imbue the staff with, are the ones you already have. You know, so if you make it for yourself, not really useful. Um, of course, it can have flaws, like your shoes, that you need an action to pump up. That makes it so that you have like a furry dot on it. Do you have the book, the hero book with you?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to go back to the other players, but I'll let you know page 210. 210, 211, and 212 is basically and then after 212 they're just examples. But like the breadth of options that you have for relics. Back to the other part of the group. So what did you find?
We would like to examine the tapes. Kieran would like to watch the tapes to see if there was some kind of pattern in the places he visited in them, some sense of specific signs he was looking for that he caught on camera. Can I use cunning and occult for that?
Oh, you don't need to. That's one of the successes. Just let me know in the list of like the 4 things.
Well, I mean, I was hoping to do that as like a research action.
Oh, in addition. Okay.
Right.
That would remove the enhancement from everyone, though.
Oh, okay.
Because you would be doing that instead. So we would have one less option that we had earlier, which is no big deal. I mean, we had 3, 4 minus 2. That was 2 plus, yeah. So you would be back down to 2, but if you rolled enough successes, you could potentially, make it go past what you had rolled initially.
Okay.
So if you're looking at the tapes, you're watching everything. What was the skills you were thinking of?
Cunning and occult. Those were the ones that seemed most useful.
Yeah, no, that works. It could have also been intellect and occult.
Can I use cunning?
But yeah.
Okay.
Oof. Beebus. So that's an extra 2 because it was difficulty 3. So
Okay.
So you have 4 out of those like special things you can ask me. So instead of 3, you're now at 4.
All right.
Okay, excellent, cool.
So was there anything like out of these little successes that what do you want to do with those 4 successes?
I think what we decided on is we wanted to see if there was some sort of pattern to the points on the map where he was looking at, or any correlation between that and the ley lines kind of pointing to that points to a certain a specific location.
So I'll count that as a Q&A. So we'll remove one of those 4 successes. Is there, so the question becomes, is there a correlation between the 2? The answer is yes, but it is not what you think it is. It does seem to follow ley lines, but it's not. It's because it's a coincidence more than anything. It's not directly related to ley lines. It's more
Correlation but no causation.
That's it. Ley lines just happen, because they were pretty much a concept that was almost invented by humans. It's a concept that was created to sort of explain the existence of supernatural elements, or divine elements in this case. So the ley lines are a good idea to find where these places could be, but like you said, there's a correlation, but it's not a causation in itself. But yes, if you look at where all the ley lines around the world are, you could automatically like eliminate a few locations. What else?
Hmm. So we have, what's it, 3 left in this pool?
3 left, yeah.
Okay. Be cool with extra clue on there, maybe.
Okay. Occult was used, technology was used, academics was used.
Mhm.
I will give you a clue regarding culture.
Mhm.
Okay. I got a 5 in that.
Those places that he visited are important, have an important religious significance to many older religions of various cultures around the world. He did not stick specifically to like Gaul or Gaulish culture.
Mhm.
In fact, he
Multi-pantheon.
traveled. Yeah, he traveled the world,
Yeah.
and those places are often I'll say, quote unquote, they belong to a certain culture or a certain religion, but
Mhm.
there is one that he purposefully ignored. Greece.
Okay. Hmm. So
But
something.
why would he avoid Greece among all of the others? Is there something he feared there? Or did he think that they were inconsequential? Despite the cultural impact that the Greeks
Ooh.
had?
What pantheon is
Ooh.
JD from?
Greek.
Without taking one of our
Theoi. Yeah.
GM
Yeah.
questions, can we ask him if there's any significance that he knows of in Greek culture to a wheel of time?
Ooh.
Um. A wheel of time. Not really. Um.
Oh shoot.
They don't have a concept of, and that JD can tell you, even though he's the son of Artemis, but he's not Greek himself. From what he knows, there's like the wheel of the year, but it's not really part of his pantheon. It's something that eventually a lot of older religions used or older cultures used because the time is cyclical. So eventually, of course, you're gonna always go back to the first day of spring, the first day of winter, blah blah blah. But as far as he's concerned, the Theoi do not believe in reincarnation. When you die, you go to the underworld.
There's. Ooh, I thought something. Ignoring the Greeks, they don't have a end times and rebirth like myth in there.
No, they don't.
They have birth of the universe, but there is no like
There's no
apocalypse.
Yeah, there's no apocalypse scenario.
So are there any other?
So you get 2 more. So what we know so far is he visited places that have important religious significance to older religions across the world, except around the Mediterranean Sea.
Mhm.
Actually, Finbar, you said you had 5 in culture, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'll give you that for free because it would be disingenuous for me to make you use a success for that. Which
Yeah, it's one of my
people-
X mark.
and I'll ask that out of game to Hawkeye,
Mm-hmm.
but you probably know the answer. Can you tell me which people massacred the Gauls?
It's the Romans, wasn't it?
And the Theoi pantheon, the Mediterranean pantheon is
Yeah.
both Greek and
Greco-Roman. Yeah.
Greco-Roman, yeah. So he's avoiding the people, the places that belong to the people who killed his people.
Killed his people off. Yeah, that would make sense. I was wondering that.
So, and
Back
it's,
of my head.
yeah, it's like I'm giving you the confirmation. That is why he didn't visit them.
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting. Huh.
You still got 2. If you want, I can ping back to Choppa and Eddie and get back to you after.
Yeah, let's do that so we can confer on how we want to use
confer.
things too.
Mhm.
All right, Eddie.
Yes.
More or less mechanically, do you have any idea what you want the staff to be able to do?
So I was just thinking of weapon tags that you would toss on it. And it would be bashing, brutal, concealable, reach, and two-handed, which is a flaw of it. So that brings it to net 2 points.
Can you wait? You said bashing? Mm-hmm, of course.
Yep. So that doesn't cost
Bashing is
anything.
0. Yeah, so
0.
whatever.
Yeah, so brutal, concealable, and reach are all 1.
Okay.
And two-handed makes it -1. So,
So
I
you're
think it
down
gives
to
it
2. So you still have that 1 point that you could do something with. And at 1 point, I do believe it could mimic a... yes, it can mimic a knack if you wanted.
Interesting.
Of course, it would be at 1 point, it would be a heroic knack and not an immortal knack. But if you gave another flaw to your weapon, then you could go with an immortal knack. But in this case, with heroic, for example, I mean, it could have. I'm giving you an idea. Enhanced impact. If you
We'll just leave it. We'll leave it at this for now, and then I think maybe because it kind of has to tie in with a deed, right? More or less.
Yes, in how you. I mean, it doesn't need. To me, anyway, my interpretation is the deed doesn't need to be done the moment you're like forging the actual weapon. But in order for it to become this relic, this like divine imbued weapon, then that is a deed that needs to happen. But the weapon, it's like mechanically, it's going to work anyway.
So we'll leave it at this. He sort of just believes that it's his first thing that he's crafting, and he kind of wants to. He feels like something needs to be commemorated for it to really make it his.
Okay, so that would be it's a tier 2 weapon. So you and Choppa is going to, like I said, just counsel you because he doesn't want like his influence on it.
Sure.
Because you wouldn't want suddenly, the staff to like sprout a beaver tail or some weird thing like that. And so I think what we're going to say is this is a staff. I'll go with finesse and close combat. So dexterity and close combat will be the skill to roll to craft it. Basically, you need to succeed. You need to have 2 successes. If you have it one shot, then the staff is done by the end of the session today. Otherwise, it'll take more time to be created.
Okay.
There you go. So by the time the investigation will be done, Eddie will have his staff made with the exact tags that you wanted to attribute to. And then from this point on, whenever you're actually it's when you reach demigod, you will have like a bunch of freebies to put on that staff. That's good.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Hey, rest of the group, before we end our session, what are those 2 other things?
Let's see. Do we want to do an interpretation?
Yeah.
That's one of the
Yeah.
that's one of the best ones when you think you have a theory.
Yeah,
'Cause then
interpretation
I
might
can
be
just correct it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So what is your theory?
With theory is something dealing with down in Greece and all that. We're thinking maybe trying to figure out a connection why a Gaelic figure like Baylor's Eye and all that would have a connection with something happening down in Greece. I thought maybe something that the Greeks, or more specifically the Romans, during their conquest of England and Ireland and all that, captured, stolen, brought back with them, or something like that. But that's kind of a out in left field theory. But basically, context of why something with a Gaelic background like Baylor would have something have something centered in the Greco-Roman sphere of things.
So, these are all almost coincidences.
Mm.
Your theory. So, if I can like rectify some of it,
Mhm.
All 3 points are not directly related. Baylor is feeding on like energy, divine energy from the Gaulish pantheon. The from what Killian told you, the Wheel of Time was, stopped or broken. And he's avoiding Greece and everything. You get the sense that it's because he was onto something, but knew that if he died, there would be no coming back and no way to continue. Baylor is feeding off of them. Because in a way, if you kill a scion of the Gaulish pantheon, they will eventually come back. Right?
Mhm.
But in this case, they might not.
Yeah.
And one thing that like links all of this,
Mhm.
more or less, has to do with what happens after you're dead. Killian was trying to figure that out without having to die
Should actually
himself.
die.
Because otherwise, apparently, it would be the end of it, which for, someone who's supposed to always reincarnate, that's kind of dangerous. Now you would know, with what you know so far, that there is a tangential relation between the underworld, quote unquote, of the Tuatha De Danann and the the strange liminal space that souls have to go through to go into the wheel and be reincarnated for the goals. Which
The Celts did originally come from the same area as the Gauls did, so there's going to be some similarities.
So there is somewhere in there that liminal space, that underworld.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what he's looking for. But he doesn't want to die to find it, which would have been the easiest answer. So he probably found his answer already. The problem is he can never do anything about it. And that leaves you with one last success. So we know, just to recap, Killian was looking into why life after death didn't work as it was supposed to. Didn't want to take any chances. Traveled the world to try to find an entrance to this liminal underworld space. Didn't seem like he was able to. All the while he's being chased by this Titan, Baelor, who wants to feed on Killian because Killian will never be reborn after that.
So we need to find where this connection is.
Yeah.
All right, outside of our remaining question here,
Yeah.
I want to go to the map.
Mm-hmm.
How many places in Gaul, in what would be then Gaul, basically France, and probably western edges of Germany, did he have any places he visited there?
There were a few, 3 thumbtacks that were placed there.
Okay.
He went to see the city of Alesia. Is it how you pronounce it in English? Alesia? The big battle that took place where is it where Vercingetorix surrendered? I think it is. No. The place. Yes. It is located in Burgundy in France. And it is, it's the battle where the Gauls ended up surrendering to the Romans. It's in western France. He visited that place. The other place that he visited was in Normandy, in the north of France. It doesn't really have anything that you can think of there. Like, it's not
D-Day.
even the site of D-Day.
Not the D-Day site.
No, it's
not the
not
beaches.
even. We're looking at the city of Rouen. So it's like too
Yeah.
far south of the beach.
Hmm.
Of course, it did see action during World War II. And of course, D-Day. After everyone disembarked on the beach, they made their way up to there, and they bombed the shit out of the town. It's also the place with your culture that Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc, yeah, that's what I was going to ask if that was the same location.
That was probably he probably looked it up because of Joan of Arc, maybe thinking that she might have something to do, like she might have been a scion of a Gaulish deity instead of,
Yeah.
when she said that God talked to her, maybe in the Scion world, it's like, a god talked to her. Didn't find anything there either. And the last place that he visited was in Brittany. So not Great Britain, but basically the like northwestern side of like the northwestern peninsula, where the town of Brest is located, which is also, culturally a place that the Celts and the Gauls and everything might have originated from. Didn't find anything there either. It seems like what he's looking for was not where it would have been the most obvious. The entrance to that underworld was nowhere near where the culture originated.
Somewhere else, but where is it precisely?
And that's probably why he was looking for any door.
Wait a minute. With all the time that Morning has spent before she came to this world, would she know where all the entry points are to?
So,
and where it come from?
So her thing was she doesn't know where she knows where one entry point is, and that's because she found it in Ireland. In that house,
Right.
God, what was that farm? Anyway, the farmhouse near Donard.
Yeah.
So she knows that this point leads to the pillars, the island she was on.
Right.
She doesn't know of any other. When she came out out of a bathroom, a toilet in a Greyhound bus. So it doesn't seem like there's a physical, like, static location. It seems more related to you die, you go through the nearest threshold, and you're done. There are other islands, in that endless sea where the her island was, the pillars were. There were other islands that she could see from afar. And I think you all I mean, if I say it, that's the extra clue. That's the thing that you might have missed. Her dad, Taliesin, mentioned it, I think, the first time you met with them. There was a shadow running around on the island. In the pillars, it was like eating, blah blah blah, and even in the other islands were, I think he said one of them was like ablaze or something. Something happened farther out. These islands that are hidden from everywhere, or everyone, I should say. In the Tuatha de Danann, there is one such island off the coast of Ireland.
Off the western coast.
Mm-hmm.
The castle.
No, farther.
Or not the castle, but the island where Baelor meets up with his grandson.
I do believe that's the one. I know
I can't remember the name of it, but
the island is called High Brasil.
Yeah.
But or a High Brasil, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the location of where Dawn lived. Dawn, who is the god of the dead.
Yep.
In Irish mythology, and of course that's where my PDF craps out. And Dawn is related to Baelor.
That might be a place to start.
Yeah.
Yes, the House of Dawn. And because that was the extra clue, his grandson Baelor, his grandson was Lug.
Yeah.
And they didn't fight in that specific place. On that like magical island. There is a for Dawn anyway in the mythology, there is a way to like light the path to that island. Because Dawn is not allowed to set foot on Ireland. He's the only one who was not allowed to be with the rest of the Pantheon. So his island is hidden away from Ireland. But it is, you know, the god of the dead. There is more or less a geographical location that Killian did not notice that would be related to Baelor in a way, as in, you know, it's related to Ireland. But he never actually found it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had to guess, because Dawn is also same liminal space where you go to get into the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So your answer lies west of Ireland.
Cool.
I think we have our target.
And as Eddie catches up with the rest of the group, who are now, you know, staring at the world map, everyone seems to be focused. Eddie, when you approach, everyone's focused at looking like up in the middle of the map, as if they found something there. But how they will discover that place? You have the tools to discover it, I can tell you that right now. But how and what happens, we'll see that next week. Thank you,
Nice.
everyone. That
Cool.
will be the end of our session today. Kind of a weird lore dump, especially after like all those weeks that we were away. So it felt like I just here's all the stuff that was supposed to happen.
Mhm.
But that is it for today, for Scion. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone who hung out in chat. Thank you for all the subs. And let's go to our players. If you want to shout out where we can find you on the internet, if you have anything going on in your lives, I'll do my outro last. So please, we'll do same orders with the intros. We'll start with D. Where can we find you?
Hey, I'm Lynn. Flying Cirrus pretty much everywhere, Twitter, Twitch, and catch my art there and what I'm doing throughout the week, including on Tuesday. It's a special changing dates for the last 2 episodes of our Humblewood campaign on Crickle Miss's channel at 9 p.m. We're going to break into a magic school, and my crow wizard is impersonating a human teenager to infiltrate the school. So that should go, perfectly. Because what do crows know about being people? So, and they have memories of who has wronged them. So she'll see. And on Friday for a special thing for the month-long Play Cancer Away fundraiser, I am actually going to be playing in a Flying Circus one-shot to start off that thing. It's going to be the first game for that event. So very happy to play with that. It should be fun. And that is at, let me just double check what time it is. It is at 5 p.m. Eastern. So, sorry, 5 p.m. Pacific. It should be on my Twitter as well. So see that. Cool. And we're raising money for Stand Up to Cancer. So that's gonna be what we're raising money for. So we can see everybody there.
Thanks, D. We'll move on to Eddie. And where can we find you? You're muted.
Second.
You're muted.
Yep. I saw that pop up on my screen. Hi, my name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. You can also find my landing page at anino4k.com. And let's see, tonight I have a game over on Other Doc's channel. The Edge of Paradox starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know. I don't remember where we are. We took a long break there too. And then tomorrow, you can head on over to the Weave the Tale channel at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for Paradise City Stories, which is a superhero campaign set. We're using the Mutants and Masterminds rule set. Then over here on Thursday, tentatively for Sentinels next week. It's 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, I am fundraising this October for races. You can find the link for that pinned to my Twitter page. Races is a nonprofit organization designed to help refugees and immigrants with legal problems surrounding immigration to the United States. And I think that's it. There are 2, possibly 3 one-shots coming up with some of the folks here on this channel, so stay tuned for that.
Awesome. Finbar.
All right.
Where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on my channel Monday nights, usually starting around 7:30, 8 p.m. My daughter and I do a thing called Family Night at the Emporium. We just finished the Return of the Obra Dinn. So last week we started a game that's based on Agatha Christie's The ABC Murders. So we're teaming up with Hercule Poirot, putting our little gray cells to work to see if we can solve the mysteries. We're in the middle of our first one right now, and we're having a lot of fun with that. Thursday nights, you starting hopefully around 7 or 8 p.m., depending on work schedule, is my weekly Skyrim serial. I've started a character last week named Zinzar Tinteroth. He is an ancient Falmer, i.e. a snow elf, who thinks he's the only one left. And he's so destitute that he's joined in with the Thieves Guild just to get money to survive. And I'm calling it the Random Legacy of Sarzor because the conversations he has with people, I'm going to roll a d12, and that's going to determine his responses. So we're going to have random results on anything that is not that I don't need to have happen because of some of the different mods that I've got going here for the story and all that, then not this Saturday, but next Saturday for sure, it will be Grappler's Keep, my WWE 2K20 universe, where a number of DMs, GMs, and RPG players across the Twitch universe compete in a wrestling ring we lovingly call the Dice Tray. We've got myself, Simon is a wrestler on there, Hannah is as well, as along with Renee and all that. Hannah recently lost the women's Hunter's Mark belt and all that, but she may get some title shots here in the future. And Simon may be working towards a belt shot here in the near future as well. I recently lost the men's championship when Maladale cashed in the bag of holding briefcase after Strength Saves defeated me in a non-title match, and he took advantage of that. Now he owns the belt, so I'm going to be working towards getting that back or teaming up with my tag team partner, Pope World Build, to go for the tag team titles. I haven't decided where all my pushes are going to go yet. But in a couple of weeks, we will be having my next pay-per-view on that as well. So that may determine where a lot of pushes go. Until then, you'll catch me probably lurking everyone else's streams and all that. Cancer Cleric by day, RPG Fanboy by night.
It's always weird to hear my name go with, like, I'm maybe in a, belt. Might get, like, a wrestling belt or win the title match for that said belt, where, IRL, I couldn't do anything of that. And then last but not least, Hannah, Kieran, where can we find you?
You can find me at Hanimation Art on Twitter, Hanimation Studios on Facebook and Instagram. And you can find me here on Thursday, as Anino mentioned, for some Sentinels of the Multiverse, and then back here on Saturday again for Scion. And I'm currently running a fun little giveaway on my Twitter for, either stuff from my shop or some free artwork. So, that's a lot of fun. Go check that out. Otherwise, I'm just here.
And I'm Simon at Wandering DM. I want to thank all of our sponsors and everything, but today I want to shout out specifically our very own Renee is kickstarting her Stone Soup for the Adventuring Soul, which is basically an RPG where you play retired adventurers that have finally, hung up their swords and their armors and staves and everything, and open a tavern together. So it's a show that would take place over on the Weave the Tale channel, and they're basically looking for funding for, paying the cast, artwork, and all of that. So, of course, if you are interested, and Weave the Tale, of course, has, gorgeous production in all of their shows, so I feel like it would be nice to encourage Renee, and at worst, just spread the word on Twitter. I left the link in chat. Check it out if you want. The Kickstarter is not up yet. I do not have the date, however, but you can just, click to have it so that Kickstarter reminds you when it goes live. So be sure to check that out. Link in chat. Thank you everyone for coming, and I will see you next week, which will either be our first session with our new guest or the last session before the new guest arrives. So I'll keep you updated on that. Thanks for coming. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.